Hi, everyone, and welcome to POLI.design Open Day. Thank you all for being here with us. I'm Sofia D'Alessandro, and today I have the pleasure to introduce to you to our Master in Design for Architecture. We are here with the Scientific Director of the program, Professor Matteo Ingaramo. Please feel free to type your questions in the dedicated chat box so that we can address them during the Q&A that there will be after the presentation. So before leaving the floor to Professor Ingaramo, I would like to tell you a few words about the new positioning of POLI.design. Unlock Your Design Energy is our new claim and means our commitment to recognizing and enhancing the unique potential and differences of each student. We aim to nurture personal aptitudes and inclinations, offering a supportive environment that empowers students to become professionals, ready to assume leadership roles and to tackle the complex challenges of today's society. So let's now hear the presentation, and thank you all and enjoy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I'm Matteo Ingaramo, the director of the course. Let me introduce this course that we call the Design for Architecture. That in English could seem a repetition, Design for Architecture. But for us in the Italian culture, and more specifically in a school of design that was born around the industrial design concept or graphic design concept, this is to try to insert the approach of design methodology into architectural design. Design is affected by a number of constraints and is integrated with a number of informations and a level of knowledge that so far seems to all the faculty that is proposing the master and to me very useful to go for a new generation of the architectural designers that are fronting the big changes of habitation, the big changes of construction techniques, and the big changes of the market of real estate. We would like to train future designers, architects, or civil engineers that will encounter significant challenges in the evolving building sector. We would like to train our students to be professional and able to design qualitative projects in the field that ranges over the architectural layout and the efficiency of the building components. Our idea is to enable designers that are contributing to the design and construction of a new generation of buildings that very, very often are connected with the fact that real estate is not anymore, let's say, permanent, but is very, very temporary. It's based on sporadic, temporary decisions that are made by investors, that are made by even private consumers, but that all these are asking to the architecture to change, to be adaptive to their life, to the big changes of their life, and to the frequency of change that is required all over the world. In this sense, the design culture is strongly multidisciplinary and includes competencies that are giving abilities to designers to be able to design for an economical process, to design for an assembly process, to design for a construction temporary, to design for the obsolescence of the buildings, and to conceive new models of habitation or new models of realization of manufacts that are considered so far buildings, but they are much more than buildings. They are products, they are machines, they are technical machines, they are human machines because they are processing the human life. So we would like our students to go for highly innovative concepts that are providing to the real estate and to the architectural profession market new solutions that are making those professionals more competitive. The structure of the master is based on a continuous variation or alternation between theoretical knowledge and design studios and vocational activities such as visits to companies and practices and meeting with professionals and of course the contact with studios, architects or real estate companies or producers of architectural parts that are made during the internship period that is mandatory in our specialization master. We would like our students to experiment a multicultural environment to enhance their understanding of global issues, including the fact that the European market of architectural design and the European attitude in real estate are very, very different respect to the rest of the world. So in this sense, this master is dedicated to a very internationalized attendance. The majority of the students are coming from abroad. Italians are very welcome, of course. The selection is quite hard, so and the faculty is trying to create a class that is balanced in terms of background, in terms of nationality, in terms of existing experience of work, if it exists, of course. That is not required as a requirement, but could be considered as one of the elements of variety of the class. Teaching for all students is clearly written in the chart. It will be in person, of course. We are not delivering courses in remote. We have 4 clusters of teaching modules. Those 4 clusters are including advanced cultural contributions that could be considered at a seminarial level. So they are contributions that are adding on a structured knowledge contribution that has to be elaborated during the design studios. Design culture is the first module. Is about, let's say, wrapping up about a design culture that is elaborated specifically in our university with an approach, with a focus, some focuses, I would say, and to the methodology that is making part of our approach to design. The second block is about design strategy. We feel that design management or management of design and the strategy made through design are very, very important for a new generation of architectural designers that are, as I was saying before, as I was mentioning, making part of a real economical process of creating a value that has to be offered, that is fruited, commercialized, and delivered in a competitive market. It's also about managing quality, time, and expressivity of the manufact, of the architectural manufact. Design technology. The third aspect is introducing technologies that are not that typical of the architectural knowledge, that they are coming much more from the industrial design knowledge, because we feel that in architectural parts, bespoke parts, and the evolution of material and finishings in architectural sector are giving a strong differentiation, a strong margin of competitiveness to designers of architectural designers of a new generation. So that's why we have this in this block a lot of contributions that are focusing on the fact that building, constructing architecture nowadays is about managing, planning, experimenting, innovating, and refining parts, or even designing parts that are specifically conceived for an architecture with a huge number of parts or square meters to be built. Final block is about design seminars and studios. We have extra contributions that are coming from the professional world, that are coming from companies that are involved in the construction sector, that are involved in the production of parts for architectural construction, and of course we would like our students to meet architects that have developed their work with a design for architecture approach. The designers that are more near to a real estate approach, the architects that are more, let's say, confident with technical architectural solutions, like Renzo Piano, for instance, that was a partner of our design and is still giving some seminars, or our students are going to visit its studio, or others that are more near to merging of industrial design and architecture, not only as an approach but also as a sector of application. Think to sectors like hospitality, think to sectors like office real estate, in which the serial aspects are, the repetition of quality is very, very important in order to create a final value that is massive produced but giving a lot of quality. Then the UD10, that is the last line of the fourth block, is about the design studio. Design studio is the activity in which we trust more. We want our students to go in a parallel with the theoretical contribution, working constantly on different design studios with different partners, with different briefs, that are introducing our students into the mindset of temporary, of technical design, of architectural strategy design, and so on, in order to collect all the contributions that are coming from the first three blocks, and of the seminars, of course, and try to adopt these new contribution, new informations, and to elaborate them as a empowering tool for their design activity. So the design studio will be a constant time during all the course, and all the class will be involved in the studio, working in a team and dealing with different briefs, with collaboration with the external partners. Professional outcome, I was mentioning it, I think, but just to summarize, we want to train professionals that are able to front the great challenges of the ever-changing design and building sector, at a local but also at a global level, in terms of competition, development, and modernization of the sector. Our students should be able to develop new ideas in the field of real estate. So a new generation of ideas. It's not about inventing, but it's about having a new approach that is quite new respect to the traditional architectural teaching. So by designing solutions that are embedding advanced building components and display innovative layout of design, including the management of the space, the reduction of the space, the attention to sustainability, to assembly and disassembling for refitting, for restoration, and for the change of the role of the buildings that are in use. So it's very important for us to introduce new approaches much more than let's say creating a revolution in the professional attitudes. Why to choose this master? Let me say that this school was founded as the last school in a group of 4 school at Politecnico. Politecnico is a quite old school. It was born in 1863, and it was and it is based on engineering and architecture. Then 25 years ago, a group of architects and engineers founded the design school with the idea of merging, integrating the two knowledges. And the two knowledges are the pillars of this master, but the real reason why to attend is to experiment the integration between the two knowledge, but also the integration of the approaches, intellectual approaches, knowledge approaches of the two block of knowledge that are very important in order to disfruit all the potentials, all the potential of a polytechnical school as Politecnico of Milano is. On top, I would say that we have 2 more factors. Factors that are considering the building more machines and products that ever. Now products are very similar to buildings. The 2 categories were very, very far away one from the other. Now we could conceive buildings as machines for humans and machines for their efficiency, even considering the sustainability. The second aspect is that the Milan Design School is one of the most multidisciplinary oriented, in which there is a mindset that is collecting experiences and methodologies coming from other fields. So it will be easier in this school to introduce and to disfruit or experiment your resident culture and challenging yourself, trying to improve your knowledge, but without, let's say, stressing the existing knowledge that you have in architecture if you are architects. If you are designers, that could be the product designers, I mean, or interior designers, that will be an extension of culture going through a more, let's say, building knowledge that, and with a strong connection with the architectural history that in Italy is one of the worldwide references. I think that's all in terms of context explainings. Those are our partners since the beginning. We have much more of them. Those are, let's say, 2 symbols of the design culture about creating products that are dedicated to real estate, Frigo 2000, and Bertone, that was one of the best automotive designers that went through product and through architectural design in order to introduce parameters that are typical of the product design that were showing a success of this approach. Here we are to the selection, to the formal requirements, to the admission requirements, and to the deadline. Please take notes of these 3 elements. I think they are very bad in explaining that. Maybe you can be more than me, let's say, precise in explaining it. So please Thank you for helping me.
Of course. Thank you, Professor Ingramo, for this very interesting presentation. So just to give you some brief information about the selection procedure, first of all, you can access the webpage of the Specializing Master in Design for Architecture by scanning the QR code that you can find here in this slide. Once you are in the webpage, you should click the Apply button in order to start your application. You can then upload all the required documents that you can find in the right part of the slide. And once you have created your own account, you can decide whether you want to proceed with the application in that moment or even finish later on. I would just like to remind you that all the applications are processed in a chronological order, so make sure you apply on time if you want to secure your spot in the classroom. You can find the final deadlines in the left part of the slide. So it's September 11th, 2024 for the EU citizens and Italian citizens, while for non-EU citizens is the 11th of August, 2024. Also, if you visit the webpage of the master program, you will find out more about our discount policies that we created in order to show you our commitment to support your study path here in POLI.design and your future. So now let's move on to the Q&A session and see what interesting questions we have had from you. So, Professor Ingramo, first question, are there any skills a student must have in order to be selected? Softwares, for example, that they need to be competent with?
Only let's say what they are the most common software in architectural design are more than welcome, of course, if they are needed. Even if you are coming from the product design knowledge and you are good in rhinoceros or other modelers like that, they could be more than sufficient to attend the master. So those are in terms of softer skills, but in terms of general skills, it's very important that you are open-minded and available to be stressed with a new approach. That's the skill that we would like to have from our students.
Sure, I guess this is a very useful skill in every case, right? So another question for you, are the training activities taking place in class, or there are going to be visits to companies or showrooms, for example?
Yes, I was saying yes, there will be visits. There will be visits of different kinds, from museums to companies to design studios, and you will meet also professionals. That could happen in class, that could happen into their own studio. They will be a limited part of the teaching process, but they will be a significant part of it.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much.
Let me say just one
Sure.
thing more that may be showing you even a picture of the presentation. Sorry, no, that's the thanks. But one of the things that we make is to let you meet partners during the design process. In this picture, you can see here that was in partnership with the America's Cup sailing competition campaign, and that was an installation for one of the bays of one of the team of the America's Cup. Then we were working with the organization of Expo, the Italian Expo, and the Japanese Expo. Then this year we were working with the Italian government for for installations for emergential immigration habitation pods. Then we were working with Gucci for installation that were pop-up installation during the fashion weeks in Milan and Paris. So our students are always dealing with a partner that is giving, let's say, not only the simulation, but even the presence of the constraints and the aspects that are needed in order to front a client that is asking design methodology. So those touch points will be even in class during our exercises.
That's great. So let's say that students will have the chance to get in touch with the major players in the world of architecture and design.
Some of them are even accepting internship, so it's a chance to meet our partners and to propose your abilities just directly with the partners.
Lovely, thank you. I have one final question for you. Are there more architects or designers in class? So is this master addressed more to architects or to designers?
Is addressed to both in a reciprocal, let's say, convergence, no?
Mm?
To the topics. Honestly, the last 2 years we had a few more architects respect to designers. But if we call a designer an interior designer, of course, that the percentage should be even reduced. But product designers are not that much because they are challenging more their background, and in a continuity that's quite let's say not rare, but they are limited number of attendance. A lot of them are architects, or they were studying in a school of architecture about interior design.
Okay, perfect. I think we have addressed all your questions. So thank you once again, Professor Ingaramo, for being with us. And thank you all for participating to the first day of POLI.design Open Day. This was our conclusive presentation. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow for more presentations about our masters and services. Have a nice rest of the day.
Thanks all, bye.